Midnight in Washington. And once again, America's government has shut down. For millions of federal workers, the nightmare is back. No paychecks, no certainty, and now a new threat. President Donald Trump says some of them may never be paid at all. In a statement that shocked Washington and the federal workforce alike, Trump said, "For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. But there are some who really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way." Those words, "don't deserve to be taken care of," sent panic through federal agencies across the country. Because for the first time in modern American history, a president isn't just shutting down the government. He's questioning whether its workers should be paid once it reopens. This is the story of how we got here, and why this shutdown could change everything. The clock struck midnight, and the U.S. government went dark. For the first time in nearly 7 years, Washington has failed to fund itself. Agencies are closed. Millions of employees are either furloughed or forced to work without pay. From TSA agents and air traffic controllers to Border Patrol and military families, this shutdown touches every corner of American life. And this time, the fear isn't just about when the paychecks will come. It's about whether they'll come at all. At the heart of the crisis is a bitter political standoff. Democrats are pushing for continued funding for healthcare subsidies and social programs that help millions of families. Republicans, led by Trump, call those demands bloated spending, an extension of what they see as failed liberal policies. But Trump's latest comments have gone far beyond policy. He's hinted that not all federal workers deserve back pay, an unprecedented move that could violate the 2019 Federal Employee Fair Treatment Act, a law Trump himself signed guaranteeing that workers receive their pay once a shutdown ends. Legal experts say it's likely unconstitutional. But for now, Trump's statement has thrown everything into chaos. For workers like Sarah, a single mother and TSA officer in Denver, this shutdown isn't about politics. It's about survival. We're told to keep showing up, even without pay. I've maxed out my credit cards, I'm behind on rent, and now the president's saying we might never get paid. It's unbelievable. At airports across the country, morale is collapsing. TSA agents are calling in sick. Air traffic controllers are working 6-day weeks, 10 hours a day, unpaid, managing the skies above America without compensation. It's not just frustrating. It's dangerous. This isn't the first time America has been here. Shutdowns have become a recurring scar in U.S. politics, each one leaving deeper wounds than the last. Let's go back. 1995, the Clinton shutdown. President Bill Clinton and Speaker Newt Gingrich faced off over Medicare and welfare spending. The government closed twice, lasting a combined 21 days. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers were furloughed. National parks shut down. The Smithsonian and the Statue of Liberty closed their doors. Public outrage grew, and Clinton's popularity soared while Congress took the blame. It was the first time Americans truly saw the price of political warfare. 18 years later, President Barack Obama faced his own showdown. House Republicans demanded that Obamacare be repealed. Obama refused. The result, a 16-day shutdown that cost the U.S. economy $24 billion. Nearly 800,000 workers were furloughed, and millions of Americans saw delayed government benefits. But just like in 1995, the public sided with the president. Obama's approval recovered. Congress's reputation didn't, the longest in history. President Trump demanded $5.7 billion for his border wall. Congress refused. The shutdown lasted 35 days. Federal workers missed 2 paychecks. Airports nearly shut down. Coast Guard families went unpaid. The first time in history a branch of the U.S. military worked without pay. Images of FBI agents and air traffic controllers lining up at food banks defined the era. And when it finally ended, Trump got no wall funding, only a temporary deal. That was then. But this time, Trump isn't just fighting Congress, he's fighting his own government. It's now 2025, and this shutdown isn't just political. It's personal. Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance have hinted that reforming the bureaucracy means downsizing federal departments permanently. Insiders say some Trump advisors are pushing for mass layoffs under the guise of shutdown austerity. That's why this shutdown feels different. For millions of workers, this might not just be a temporary furlough. It could be the beginning of the end of their careers. Every day the government stays closed, the damage compounds. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that the 2019 shutdown alone cost the economy $11 billion, most of which was never recovered. This time, experts warn it could be far worse. Federal contractors aren't guaranteed back pay. Small businesses near government offices lose customers overnight. National parks and museums, the lifeblood of local tourism, close their gates. Even Wall Street starts to shake when Washington stops functioning. Investor confidence drops. Markets turn volatile. And America's global reputation for stability, the foundation of the dollar's strength, takes a hit. Shutdowns don't just freeze paychecks. They freeze trust. Back pay for federal workers isn't optional. The 2019 Federal Employee Fair Treatment Act made it law. So can Trump legally withhold it? Legal scholars say no. But his administration could delay it indefinitely by simply refusing to sign disbursement orders or by challenging the definition of non-essential employees. If that happens, the issue could end up in the Supreme Court, creating a constitutional crisis that pits the executive branch against federal labor law. And while the lawyers argue, workers wait. Across America, stories are pouring in. A Border Patrol officer in Texas pawns his wedding ring to pay rent. A national park ranger in Montana says she's using food banks for the first time. A veteran federal employee in Virginia weeps as she explains she's just weeks away from losing her home. I've worked for the government for 23 years. I've been through shutdowns before, but this one feels different. This one feels cruel. Every story paints the same picture, a workforce punished for political games. Inside Washington, the blame war has already begun. Democrats accuse Trump of holding the government hostage. Republicans counter that Democrats are using federal workers as pawns. But Trump's strategy seems clear. He's drawing a line, not just in policy, but in loyalty. By threatening back pay, he's sending a message to federal agencies. You work for me, or you don't work at all. It's a tactic that plays to his base, portraying himself as a president taking on the deep state and bureaucrats he's long accused of undermining him. But for millions of federal employees, it's not politics. It's personal devastation. History has shown one constant truth. Every shutdown ends the same way, but the damage lingers. Clinton recovered. Obama recovered. Even Trump recovered politically in 2019. But the workers never do. They lose savings, homes, and faith in a system that was supposed to protect them. And now, as 2025 unfolds, America seems trapped in the same cycle. Political gridlock at the top, human suffering at the bottom. Shutdowns are called savings measures. But in reality, they cost billions. Lost productivity, delayed taxes, broken contracts. Even after they end, it takes months for agencies to restart operations. Months for the economy to recover. Every hour the government stays closed, the message to the world grows louder. The United States, the richest nation on earth, cannot govern itself. As the sun rises over an empty Capitol building, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. This isn't just about budgets or back pay. It's about what kind of country America wants to be. Do we reward the people who keep our nation running, or use them as leverage in a political war? Trump's words, "Some people don't deserve to be paid," may define this shutdown more than any policy ever could. Because when a nation begins deciding which of its citizens deserve fair treatment, it's not just the government that's shutting down. It's democracy itself.